My Nina's lasagna and a melty Mexican cheese snuck off together and had a baby? This baked Ziti is their love child. Alright, let's get chaotic. So I started off by coating my pan with some liquid gold. Yes, oil people. Then I threw in a pound of mild Italian sausage, but honestly guys, the hot one probably would have hit way better. I also added a pound of ground beef and let it sear hard. Fond, baby. Check this one out. I grabbed my frijoles smasher, the same one that survived every family party since 1992. I smashed all the beef up, I seasoned it, browned it, and then I set it aside like bad vibes and unpaid bills. Cleaned up the pan, dropped a little bit more liquid gold, and diced me up a sweet onion and let it sweat for a few minutes. Make sure you season it with a little bit of kosher salt. After the onion is a little bit soft, I started making a little hole in the middle of it and then tossed in some garlic and let it sit for about a minute. This step is really important that you don't touch the garlic so that the fragrance could bloom. So yes, 60 long seconds. After those 60 seconds, I mixed it all up and brought the meat back to the party. Then dumped in a big can of crushed tomatoes. If I had peeled tomatoes, I probably would have used those because they just make it richer and chunkier. Kind of like me. I added a little bit of water and then I added a ton of chopped basil. After all that, I gave it a good mix and let it simmer low until I got the pasta ready. My pot of boiling water was salted super heavy. I'm talking like ocean level, and that's just the way you have to do it. Meanwhile, I went to go grab my box of dried ziti because baked penne just doesn't sound right. And if you speak Spanish, you know exactly why. Sounds pretty sus. I flipped the box of ziti over and I encourage you to just look at those instructions and totally ignore them. I pulled the pasta about 2 minutes earlier because if you follow the box, it's gonna overcook in the oven, you'll end up drinking the pasta. And now for the most traumatic part of making this dish, the cheese mixture. And I know fam, traditionally it's mozzarella, but I wanted to add my own little zing. You know how I do it. So I went with Chihuahua melting cheese. I added a little over half a cup of that. Super cheesy and has its own unique flavor. Though to be honest, I could have gone way heavier. Then came the Parmesan Reggiano. I grabbed my grater and grated.
7 hours later.
And grated. And grated.
24 hours later.
And after about 24 hours and a ripped glove later, I finally won the battle with the cheese. Thankfully, it came out to be exactly what I wanted, about half a cup. Man, it felt like I just survived the UFC fight with dairy. Sheesh. Once I got down, I ended up moving the pasta into the sauce and gave it a good mix. I made sure every tube of ziti was stuffed with sauce, fuller than my DMs after dropping this recipe. And yeah, some pasta water snuck in. But that starchy magic actually made the sauce silky and helped it cling to the pasta. Then I grabbed the casserole dish, the kind your abuelita says it's only for special occasions, somehow ends up at every carne asada. I threw down half of the pasta sauce mix. Then I grabbed a full 16-ounce container of full-fat ricotta and dropped the ricotta bombs all over the place. I didn't care about making it pretty, guys. I just threw it everywhere as long as it covered good. Then I added a layer of the cheese mixture that almost cost my life, and then the rest of the pasta, then more bombs of ricotta. Then I threw on the basil. And honestly, learn from me, fam. The more, the better. Trust me, basil's not like tequila shots. Nobody's gonna regret extra basil. I topped it with the rest of the cheese because portion control doesn't live here. Baked it at 375 for 30 minutes till it came out golden, bubbly, and screaming chaos. And we're done. You're supposed to let it rest so it sits, and you can cut perfect squares instead of scooping pasta soup. But my kids were starving and it was super late, so I scooped it right away. And man, that Chihuahua cheese and parm combo, straight umami knockout. Even Nina's lasagna is jealous. Now let me ask you, would you smash this straight from the pan or actually share like a decent human? Drop your comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what we can mess up next.